Hi, folks. Welcome back. And those of you that are new, welcome. I want to talk to current Democrats and people that are Democrat leaning to get an idea of what's happened to your party. Now, I used to be a Democrat for many, many years. I'll be 68 next month, November. And I was a member of Binghamton City Council from 2000 to 2007 for 8 years as a Democrat. I still believed that Democrats were for the little guy, the people that have been screwed over, that didn't get much of a chance, a place for legal immigrants to start over. I believed all those things. The people that were screwed over because of their religion or their race, I believed in all that stuff. And in my lifetime, I was born in 1956, we've come a tremendous way in those regards. And then all of a sudden, it seemed pretty quick, actually, but it's probably been festering in high schools and especially universities for probably about 2 decades. This progressive woke lunacy, and I mean lunacy, for a reason. The Democrats, the party itself, their base, their foundation, their concrete foundation, the Democrat Party here nationally, is baby boomers like myself. And they still vote Democrat because they believe that the Democrat Party is the party that they grew up with. And those days are over. It's like somebody passing away. They're never going to come back. Am I telling you to vote Republican? Not necessarily. Even though I think Trump and the Republicans are right the vast majority of the time, but not all the time. So what do? You're kind of in a limbo as a old school Democrat. How do you vote? Well, for me, I vote the person, my dad used to say this when he was alive, the closer the election is to me personally, my home, the more I vote the person. But at the national level, state level, congressional level, you have to vote Republican. You have to. Or not vote for any of it. Just pass. You don't have to vote. Just because there's 2 people there listed doesn't mean you have to vote for either one. But I want to bring upon the fact of the Democrats that the party that you know and grew up with, in a certain extent admired, doesn't exist anymore. Now, when you go to vote, keep that in mind. Now, we're going to have some short memes and also some short videos to see what the Democrat Party has actually turned into. Let's check it out. Yeah, what's the left winger? Thrives on fear mongering and gets duped very easily in believing any controversial thing without evidence. Here's a good one, because the new Democrats today, the progressives, are such narcissists. Yeah, granted, everybody that runs for public office to a certain extent is a narcissist. But look at this. When you're so woke that a Blackfeet chief drawn by a Blackfeet artist, approved by the Black Chief Nation, is considered offensive to white people. So they erased it. And now I hear the family and the tribal leader of the Blackfeet is saying, this is a real person. He had a name. The artist was also Blackfoot. And I forget the gentleman's name here, Chief something. It's a real person. It's not some caricature some artist put together. Same with Aunt Jemima, Uncle Ben. We can go on and on and on. They're narcissists. You look up Progressive Democrat in the dictionary, it says huge, dramatic narcissist. Let's move on. They want to ban free speech, guns, and enter your house with no warrant, and they're telling you that Trump is the threat.
Hey, how can I help you?
Now, this one here is a video. 2 individuals that call themselves, they are affiliated with the FBI. And they're coming to a guy's house to talk about the fact they want to check on, he said something on Twitter, and they want to investigate it. He didn't break the law, but they want to investigate it anyway. Let's check out what these morons said and did.
Yeah.
Now look at these two idiots. Both basically have jeans on. One has his shirt untucked. I mean, they're just slobs. Now look how they approach. They're so friendly.
Here we are.
I'm Agent O'Donnell with the FBI.
Can you give your full name, please?
I'm Agent O'Donnell with the FBI.
They're not FBI. They're affiliates. They're affiliated with the FBI. That means from the Department of Homeland Security bills they passed that got more agents didn't go to the border. They went to guys like these that are affiliated with the FBI. What does affiliated mean? It means you're a rent-a-cop. And you're here to do their dirty, disgusting work. Going door to door because you didn't like what somebody said on social media. At least the guy on the right is trying. The guy on the left's just a moron. Let's check it out.
Is that sufficient to identify as the only one O'Donnell affiliated with the FBI?
In New Hampshire, yes.
Could you please state your full name, sir?
Could you please stop recording?
No. It's First Amendment right.
Okay.
What's your name, sir?
Same. But you just not record. They're embarrassed to be on film. And they ought to be embarrassed. They're grown men, they know better. They say, well, you know, John, they got to make a living too. And making almost $100,000 in this country, depending on where you live, is a lot of money. It's not including the bennies or the free Gold Star health insurance and everything else, vacations, you name it. Not including the pension, if you're there long enough to qualify. You know, this excuse the guards at Auschwitz said, I was just following orders and making a living.
Absolutely not. You can show me your name and identification, or I'm going to go back inside my house.
Okay.
At least the guy on the right is making an attempt.
Oh, this is going out right after you guys walk away. So you can show me your name or ID, you can walk away.
We just want to talk to
I'm not going to talk to people who claim to be federal agents unless they can show me identification.
Okay, well, you see our badges.
I could buy that badge on eBay. He's trying, but he does not want to give his real name, whether verbally or written down on an ID or anything else. What's the guy on the left there for? To be a witness? When they write up the report, he can lie, and this guy was real belligerent, and he threatened us, and blah, 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 blah. And I have a witness here, my partner, Bob. It's a lie.
I need to see, is your full name on that badge?
No.
I'd like to see something with your full name or I'm not going to talk to you.
For you not to broadcast it.
This will be going online as soon
If you don't broadcast, what are you afraid of? What does that saying go? The best disinfectant is sunlight.
as you walk away.
Well, all I want to do is talk to you about a post that was made, and if you
Well,
happen to be the one that made it.
I want to talk.
About a post that was made. Well, did that post break the law? They said they both were very adamant. That's when Silent Bob over here on the left is adamant about the fact, oh, no, we're not here because of law breaking. We're here because of what you posted. What is this? What is this, Venezuela? Germany in the 1930s? Canada? Most of the European Union? This is insane.
To you about you guys coming here. Say you make a salary of, I don't know what, low 100K? You guys making six figures? Factor in.
Look, he turns his head and smiles. That's probably with the Betties and everything. They're making over that. It's close. I'll bet you it's in the high 80s, low 90s anyway.
50% expenses, overhead, maybe 100% expenses. Talking about burning a couple $100 an hour just here, let alone all the time you guys are spending to investigate something that you know is not against the law, right? Like you're familiar with. So then why would you come?
See how adamant even Silent Bob said something there on the left. Oh, no. You didn't break the law. We're here to investigate. Well, if nobody's broken the law, you have no reason to be there. Except for the agenda of the Democrats. Former Democrats, current Democrats, this is what happened to your party. This is the new Democrat Party. Make no mistake.
Because we wanted to make sure that there weren't any.
No, you're coming because you're.
There weren't any threats. Well, did you see any threats? No. Did I break the law? No. Then what the hell are you here for?
You're part of a regime that does this kind of thing when you know laws aren't being broken. And that's an embarrassment, man. Didn't you guys read the Constitution? Do you not believe in America?
I'll tell you the truth. If I had to guess, I would say the guy on the right knows he's wrong. The guy on the left could care less. Up yours. I'm making a pretty good living, and I think you're a scumbag, so I'm using my authority to intimidate people. The guy on the right is at least reasonable. Doesn't make him okay, but at least he's reasonable.
Like, how do you do your jobs and go home?
We appreciate it.
You're walking away. Because nothing we did is against the law, and you guys are fuckheads that try to act like bullies. And I hope you go home and are embarrassed. You can't even say your name on camera because you know that what you're doing is embarrassing. You know Americans that believe in the Constitution think you're laughable. And you go home and you think about what you did today. Go home and think about it, you cowards.
And that's what they are, cowards. And if you don't think they're busting into homes, there's a video I saw earlier today from New Orleans about, I don't know if it's ATF or FBI, but they're pretty jacked with equipment and stuff busting into, and they're dragging a little old lady out of her house. She's the only one there. She goes, I don't want you here. You don't have a warrant. Well, they're there to confiscate weapons. The lady looks probably mid-late 70s at least, 100 and nothing, probably weighs 85 to 90 pounds, and they're dragging her out after they smashed her door in without a warrant. If you don't think this is going on, you're kidding ourselves. Democrats, current Democrats that are older, that lived when the Democrat Party was worth a damn, pay attention. Pay attention. It's not propaganda and it's not misinformation. This is the new reality of the Democrat Party. And these are why these guys are scared to death. All the high echelon are scared to death that if Donald Trump wins, he will go through these guys. How's that saying go? Like shit through a goose. He will wipe them out. Maybe even get rid of the FBI entirely. It was only supposed to be temporary anyway during bootlegging and prohibition. But here they are.
Drive away. Drive away.
Thank you for your time.
You're not welcome. You should be embarrassed.
They should be embarrassed. And I think this guy is embarrassed. But he's going to turn around and do it later again that day or do some of it the next day because he's just following orders. That didn't work so well at the Nuremberg trials. What do you think?
Embarrassing. You guys are embarrassing.
Look like government tags to you? Don't think so. You got a couple of bald tires there. Where's his ticket from the local law enforcement? It's probably his personal card. He's getting mileage out of it. And that's right. Up yours. Up yours. Now, we're going to have a couple more memes and mostly short videos here. Here's one with Prime Minister Netanyahu. And there is one of the ultra-progressive members of Congress who hates Israel. And that's the other thing. The new Democrat Party is very, very, very anti-Semitic. They are. It's just the way it is. So let's check out the next couple of videos.
Well, I have a message for these protesters. When the tyrants of Tehran, who hang gays from cranes and murder women for not covering their hair, are praising, promoting, and funding you, you have officially become Iran's useful idiots.
And it's true. Now, this all stems from, I think the beginning of this was the F-up the United States made with Iran during the hostage crisis. And who was the president then? Even though he's a very good man, he was a horrible president. That was Jimmy Carter. I remember. Just around then, just after Jimmy Carter left and Reagan won, I used to hate Ronald Reagan's guts because I was a Democrat, you know. And 2, 3, 4 years went by, and you know what? I thought to myself, it's hard to admit that something you believed in your entire life as being true isn't. That's hard. Call it an ego thing, call it whatever you want. It's tough. So let's watch the rest.
It's been only 2 days since somebody allegedly tried to kill Donald Trump again. And you're here at the podium in the White House briefing room calling him a threat.
President Biden has been clear-eyed about the threat
Biden clear-eyed?
that the former president represents to our democracy.
How many more assassination attempts on Donald Trump until the president and the vice president and you pick a different word to describe Trump other than threat?
Peter, if anything from this administration, I actually completely disagree with the premise of your question. It is also incredibly dangerous in the way that you're asking it.
No, that's Peter Doocy. Works for Fox News. His father is a commentator, I believe, is on the morning show. And did you see any follow-ups by Peter Doocy's colleagues? And I'll bet you money the vast majority say off camera in the hallways, good for you, Peter. We're not allowed to ask that kind of thing. We're not allowed to do that. Now, I want to show you a meme that I saw. I think it's California, but it doesn't really matter. It still proves the point. Piles of garbage and homeless encampments, garbage everywhere. But you know what? God bless California. They don't have any plastic straws. And in fact, just recently, they got passed a law that banned plastic bags. And now, after all the studies are done, they found out that banning plastic bags actually caused more environmental damage. They don't care. It's not about that. It's about throwing raw meat, appeasing the far left, progressive, narcissist, crazy people. That's who's taking over the Democrat Party. So you old school Democrats, take note. It's crazy. Absolutely nuts. It's hard for me to articulate how I really feel concerning some of the nonsense. I'm in New York, so how do you think I feel? Now, this one should be the icing on the cake or the cherry on top or whatever you want to call it. Under new California bill, parents would be charged with child abuse for not affirming transgenderism. If you are a parent, reject your child's chosen gender, you are rejecting that child. Now, these parents have a say. These kids can't get a tattoo. They can't choose to drop out of school when they're 10 years old. There's a lot of things. They can't sign a contract. There's a lot of things they can't do because they're, first of all, your brain isn't developed enough to make an adult decision. My understanding is the average brain development, it reaches its peak at 25 years old. That's why when they lowered the national voting age, the federal voting age to 18, everything went to shit. A parent could lose custody for not affirming or agreeing to a child's claims about gender identity. But yet they can't get a tattoo, they can't smoke, they can't get a drink. They can't do all those things because they're too young mentally and mature-wise. They're just not there yet. Would require judges adjudicating such disputes over transgender identifying children to favor the parent who affirms the child's preferred identity. And you've seen this a million times, unless you're watching the wrong news, where a couple will be splitting up, and usually it's the mother will say, well, I think Johnny, my little boy, is a girl. He says so, and he says he feels like one. And the fellow goes, no, wait a minute. That's nonsense. I'm not going to allow you to put dangerous hormones or even do surgery on my little boy. But if the mother says okay, then the judge has to go along with this according to this. Apparently, Senator Weiner is not satisfied eroding parents' rights with this bill to allow children as young as 12 to take the vaccine without parental consent. It's crazy. It's crazy. Now there's no penalty if the same law. Some of these laws are so laced with other things that have nothing to do with the original bill. It's a felony currently until this law in California to knowingly have sexual relations with another person, gay or straight, without a condom, without telling them that you're HIV positive. Now there's no penalty. It's just children at drag queen shows. If you don't go along with all of that, as the other parent, you can lose rights to see your kid. It's amazing. They want the government to be the parent. Make no mistake. Make no mistake.
Those in the overly online left who are...
Now, also, too, like I said earlier, the Democrat Party, the progressives, and the leftists are very, very, very anti-Semitic. Very much so. It used to be they kept it to themselves or under wraps. Now they march out in the open. From the river to the sea means genocide. It's as simple as that. And you mentioned earlier, as long as the useful idiots that go along with it as well. The Democrat Party has always been racist, anti-Semitic, always, since its inception. How racist were the Democrats in 1860? Well, John, that was a long time ago. Yeah, but they still think the same. They think non-white people are stupid. That they're too dumb to go to DMV to get an ID. They're too dumb to go on the internet and try to get an ID. They're just too stupid. How does that go? Low expectations. Well, you know, they're just not smart enough. My God. It's ridiculous. That's the slaveholder mentality. We're doing them a favor. It's incredible.
Are attacking Josh Shapiro's pro-Israel positions in a different way than they are attacking non-Jewish Veep contenders' positions. They're just telling on themselves. There is a strong undercurrent of anti-Semitism to that. It's unacceptable. Every contender's position...
Now, think about this for a minute. Not too long ago, when Vice President Kamala Harris was looking for a running mate for her when she's running for president now, of course, everybody should know that. Josh Shapiro was the perfect choice. Pennsylvania is a must-have state for either nominee for president. Either one. Without Pennsylvania, the road to getting 270 plus to win the election is extremely slim. The odds are incredibly small. Picking Josh Shapiro was simply a no-brainer. But no. The progressive Democrats, the leftists, are anti-Semitic. So the obvious choice was Josh Shapiro, but sorry, Josh, you're Jewish. And he's a lefty, too. The people that control the Democrat Party now have taken over the progressive leftists, and you old school Democrats take note. I mean, they're not even trying to hide it anymore, like he said. They're giving themselves away. And now we have the governor of, Minnesota, Walz. The guy's been to China over 30 times. It's incredible to me. Let's keep listening.
On all policy issues, their track records in elective office, all of that is fair game. That is totally open to be subjected to interrogation and to questioning by the Harris team, by observers, but holding him to a different standard because of his religion just simply isn't who we are as a Democratic Party.
Now, this is another beauty. Another beauty. Wait to see the response from her. I know she's, well, I don't know how to put this delicately. She's not the sharpest knife in the drawer. She never has been. Jen Psaki was really smart. She was evil, the lying she did, but at least she was smarter. Karine Jean-Pierre is her name. Now, I think she has an awesome name. That's a very cool name. But she has the intelligence of a golden retriever. I mean, if this was done by a Republican press secretary or even Democrat press secretary in the past, they would have got rode out of town on a rail. But the fact of the matter is, progressives can say and do anything they want to with no repercussions because the rest of the people that are sitting in that press conference, Peter Doocy who's asking the question, his colleagues won't say a word. Does this sound familiar in history?
Helene, people in Western North Carolina were drowning in their houses this weekend.
Now, the people around them, did they follow up question after this? No, but they all think like he does. They're just too scared to say it. Like those two guys that are affiliated with the FBI. They want to keep their jobs. Does this sound familiar? How many times in history has this been done? Hundreds. It always turned out badly.
We're losing everything. President Biden was at his beach house, and Vice President Harris was hosting political fundraisers on the West Coast. Is there a reason that they could not be here?
All right, everybody. I'll see you tomorrow. Thank you.
Now, what was her name? Oh, God, I forget the woman's name, the blonde-haired woman that was press secretary for a short time for Trump. She was a gangster. She told the truth and she came prepared. What did she come up with? Nothing. Because you can't defend it. You can't defend it. And if you can't defend it, that means you don't believe in it. And if you don't believe in it, then what the hell are you doing there? Except for propping up your name, making a decent salary, giving yourself a guaranteed future on cable news. Another narcissistic move. I'll be famous. I'll even write a book. Let's listen on. There's a recent picture, and that's not fake, of nominee for Vice President Walz, Governor Walz, and Kamala Harris there on the left. These look like high school students. So they stopped to take a picture. This is actually a club in a high school. Revolutionary Communists of America. And there's on the bottom there's Mao Zedong, Stalin, Lenin, the works, Karl Marx. This is insane. And they get chastised one bit. It's perfectly okay. Older Democrats, take note. Look at this. Don't say, well, Trump this, Trump that. Leave Trump out of this. We're talking about the behavior and the beliefs of the Democratic Party today. This is what you want to vote for because you hate Donald Trump that much? If you hate Donald Trump more than you love your country, then maybe you are the problem. Incredible. Absolutely incredible. It's, and I left this, again, because of the narcissist. When you're so woke that a Blackfeet chief drawn by a Blackfeet artist approved by the Blackfeet Nation is considered offensive to white people. Oh, I'm offended by it, so I'm gonna speak for these poor, dumb minorities because they're not very smart and they can't articulate their position, so I'm going to do it for them like they can't find ID people. ID is racist. And you go to talk to any black person in any major city, they're like, why? Everybody's got ID. What are you talking about? It's insane. The race, how does that go? The prejudice of low expectations. Well, I'm a white liberal, progressive. I'm in my 20s. I want this gone. I'm offended. I don't give a good damn what you think, and I don't care you're offended. They asked Matt Gaetz once, he made a comment concerning this feminist organization, that they're mostly fat and not very attractive. And the reporter said to him, do you think this might offend some people? What is your answer to that? And he says, well, be offended. I don't care. It's amazing to me. Narcissists. Right down to their core. So I left this at the end. You know, let's talk the real deal here. It's tough to pick a side. And I know it's even tougher because it happened to me. That everything I believed in, everything I thought was true concerning the Democrat Party, and I was even elected official as a Democrat, is a lie. That Democrat Party is long, long gone. So that's my response to the progressives that have ruined the Democrat Party, one of the oldest parties in this country. You know what? F you. F you. That's all I'm going to, as Forrest Gump says, that's all I'm going to say about that. And until the next time, God bless, goodbye, and good luck.